Are you ready to take your business online with an e-commerce solution fit for purpose? Bob Group might have the answers you have been seeking.
I'm Taryn McMurray. I own Mac Pet SA. Bid or Buy has brought Mac Pets into light with customers. Our market is pet lovers, and that's our passion.
Is e-commerce the silver bullet for a startup company?
It's not necessarily a silver bullet. I think you need to check and understand what is your business. Are you offering products? Are you offering services? Or is it something totally different? Are you a restaurant, etc.? But in some way, you can use e-commerce to enable your business and to grow and scale it depending on your particular needs or circumstances.
Having said that, what are the first steps that an SME needs to take in order to get into the e-commerce space?
So I think one of the first things you would want to do is to get a better understanding of what e-commerce is. I think it sounds almost mystical. It's just this new high-tech method of doing business, and everyone wants a piece of it. So I think first understand what it is, and it's not so mystical. It's not that sort of crazy new way of doing business. It's just using technology to enable your business and to engage with customers. So one of the things typical merchants need to do is they first maybe need a website. They need a place and a platform to show off their products to potential customers. Once they've done that and they've managed to get customers to their site, the next step is, how do I accept a payment? It's a very practical step, but how do you actually accept a payment safely in the online space? And there's definitely partners that can help you do that. And once you've accepted your payment, you want to deliver this product. So how do you get this product delivered to your customer in the most efficient manner possible? And then how do you communicate with your customer? And so these are all very basic steps, in a typical e-commerce process. But these are things you need to get an understanding of and work out what's going to work best for you when you're engaging with your customers in this digital space.
Now, it sounds very heavy when you say that, because there are a lot of procedures, a lot of protocols that need to be stepped. How does one then, from a starting perspective, find their feet?
Yeah, so I think reading is very important. There are a number of conferences that happen from time to time throughout the year on platforms such as ours. We have every few months we have a meetup, an online meetup, where you can learn a little bit more about what is a marketplace, for example, which is another whole piece of opportunity for any e-commerce business. One of our other services, UAfrica, also run meetups, and they talk about shipping and how to deliver products. And then we have these online conferences that happen every year. I think there's one called E-commerce Live, and there's one run by Insaka Academy. And these are absolutely invaluable opportunities to learn from other merchants that are just like you, and you'll find there will be some that do something totally different to what you do, but others that are pretty much in line with what you're doing, and so use that opportunity to understand a little bit about them, and then go for it. Get started, work out what's best for you, and just get started, because it's not something that happens overnight. It takes time and a lot of hard work, but get started so long.
Now, what are some of the pitfalls that people need to be aware of, some of the challenges around the e-commerce space?
Yeah, so I think making sure that you're designing your experience right is very important. And I've spoken about these different steps. Getting a payment solution, making sure that you are working with a reputable partner that's there, and you might have, for example, the need to accept payment with a card machine, but also online. So then look for a partner that does both physical payments. Maybe you're operating at markets or in a physical store presence, but you also have an online space. So get your inventory managed in one place and accept payments across those different channels. And I think one of the big challenges is logistics. It sounds simple. You send your parcel to this customer, but once you have scale and you're booking many deliveries every day, you want to make sure that you have a platform that enables you to do that, and also to make sure that you are paying the correct price. best price for the service that you're getting, and delivering to your customers in a way that's reliable. Because I think something worse than it might sound to have a really great, cheap sending experience, but if that parcel gets missing or the service is not reliable, that's just so much more time and effort that you need to invest. So I think working out payments, logistics, and then lastly, we've spoken about get your website up and have this have all your payments and your logistics services right, but you don't just build it and people just flock to the site, and that also takes time. So you need to invest time marketing your business to your customers. It might be through a social channel that you start off small, friends and family, word of mouth, but there definitely has to be investment of time and effort into marketing your business so that people actually find you in the first place.
All right. Let's talk about the Bob Group for a moment. How are you likely to expand within the e-commerce space? And is there the opportunity for the informal traders to actually hop on to the platform?
Yeah. So if you go to bob.co.za and you have a look at our logo, you'll see there's a big B with some appendages sticking out. And if you tilt your head slightly, you'll see it looks like a hand. And we really do believe we're a helping hand to small to medium enterprises in the e-commerce space. And so we're striving to be everything e-commerce for these partners. Now, what many people would know of the service Bid or Buy. It's well known. It's over 20 years old in this country. But there are many other aspects to what Bob Group is now offering. And so I'll start with the marketplace. And so a marketplace is a place for you to list your products without worrying about your website. We've spoken about, you must worry about payments and you must worry about logistics and market your site. But another avenue is to simply list it on a platform such as ours, where you get to market your products to customers, and you don't need to worry about growing that customer base because they're there. And so that's the one and the sort of most well-known, at least from a customer point of view, within Bob Group. But one of the others and most important aspects is the delivery piece, and we have UAfrica, which is involved with aggregating multiple couriers, getting a parcel from you as the merchant to your customer. And that is, it's a big piece of any business. It's a costly piece and very important. So we're helping customers, first of all, in the marketplace space, also within the logistics space. And then we have a service called Bob Sync. So once you have your own website, it's set up and running, you don't want to spend time listing your products on the marketplace. And so that service simply synchronizes your product in real time, manages your inventory. If you manage it on your website, it synchronizes through to the marketplace. So that's a helpful piece to just help you scale and worry about actually dealing with customers in your actual business. And then some other exciting developments coming up in the new year is that we have something called Bob Pay. It's in a testing phase right now, so watch the space. But that will help streamline payments and accepting payments as a merchant on your website, on the marketplace as well. So now we're looking at marketplace, logistics, payments as well. And then we have another service called ShipLogic, which is a business-to-business service. But many of the prominent couriers within the South African e-commerce space make use of this type of software, which helps couriers run their logistics operations. And we have many, many more ideas, some which are not ready to discuss just yet, but absolutely we want to be this helping hand within the e-commerce space. Particularly, we love the small guy. We love people who are just starting out and want to grow their businesses, and we really do want to be a part of that journey. As people grow their businesses, we get to grow ours with them.
Now, having said that, and with the extensive service that you've just outlined, where would you say you are a leader in?
So there's two aspects, right? We are one of South Africa's leading e-commerce and auction marketplaces. So it's something quite unique in that Bid or Buy, you can not only sell something as a fixed price, which is the most popular way to sell something online, but we also have the opportunity to auction goods. This is, I think, interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to the e-commerce space, where you you could have something that's very rare, and you can work out what is its value by auctioning something like that off. But also in other aspects, the collectible space, auctions are very, very popular in there. So I think that's one area that we one of the leaders in. And then logistics. And I've mentioned this a few times, but it is such an important piece to any e-commerce journey. Once a customer they've paid you their money, they bought this thing through through the device, and the very next thing that they're thinking about is, where is my product? And if you haven't organized your communication to say the parcel has been picked up and it's on the way to you, sometimes it adds a bit of anxiety, particularly people who haven't been trading online or haven't been purchasing online all that much. And so I can't stress how important it is to have logistics that works and to have communication that goes with that journey to help give that customer a really good experience.
Last but not least, a message to SMEs out there who are still a little nervous about the concept of e-commerce.
Yeah. So as I've said, it's really, e-commerce is not a mystical sort of high-tech new thing that needs to be feared. If you can read and if you're interested in it, I think get going with it. I've mentioned a few conferences, but look out, as we go into 2023 and beyond. Every year there are some really amazing webinars and conferences, places to meet up and communities to talk to. Learn from other people's experiences, because I think what you'll find is that you're not that unique in that you're the only one trying to do this. There have been many other people who've done it before, and sure, there are these huge online retailers and big business, etc. But the really interesting business is these smaller businesses who really can take the time to care for their customers and offer exciting and interesting products or services as well. So just if it's you alone or if it's someone in your company, make sure that there's a champion and just get started. There's no good time or bad time. Now's definitely the right time to get going.
And on that note, I want to thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you very much.